I wanted to show you how I made homemade pumpkin pie and homemade roasted pumpkin seeds and what that process was like in case you were curious. It is a little bit more labor intensive, but I think overall it was worth it. I had a very hard time getting into the pumpkin, so definitely use a sharp knife. After I opened it up, that's what it looked like. I began to scoop out the seeds, but that was taking too long. I got the rest out with my hands. However, do a patch test. Make sure you do not have a pumpkin allergy like I do. The seeds will need to sit overnight, so let those soak. I cut the pumpkins in thirds and I needed to roast it for about an hour. And you know it's ready when it's easy to scoop the flesh away. At this point, we blend the pumpkin into a puree. I didn't do a great job, so I still needed to smash it a little bit more. My second batch, I did a better job. Kind of looks like spaghetti squash. It's the next day, so I boiled the pumpkin seeds for 10 minutes, getting ready to roast them, laying them out on a single layer. I believe the oven is set to 400 degrees. Also forgot to mention I did use a tiny top full of vegetable oil on it and using Slap Your Mama Hot to season it. Caution if you do this because eating the seed this way I was not able to successfully wash it off of my hands. And every 10 minutes or so I went and flipped them around to make sure they're evenly coated on both sides. So while I was waiting on my seeds, I had some apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, and a little alkaline water mixture. And here they are looking very spicy, but they were definitely done. And the actual cooking process probably took about 40 minutes. They needed just a little bit of salt, so I added some Himalayan pink salt. Back to the pies. 2/3 cup of sugar, 1/4 white, half brown, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, 2 eggs. evaporated milk. I will leave the recipe in the description bar. When it comes to seasoning the pie, I do as my generation says, shake until the ancestors tell me to stop, because usually the measurements in the recipes aren't quite good enough for me. Actually, I believe it's 2 eggs and the yolk of one more. I will be adding the recipe below so you can follow along if you like. Mixing it up after adding all of the ingredients thus far. I didn't have lemon zest, so I just added a small amount of lemon juice. There I am, checking the recipe. I had a hard time with the blender, the things kept falling out. 2 cups of pumpkin puree. And it's in the oven on 400 degrees for the first 15 minutes, and then you change it to 350 for the remainder of the time. Okay, time to start on the second pie. I've put the other pie back on 350. I realized the recipe did not call for butter or vanilla, so I added that on top. That's why it's a little swirly, but it looks pretty good. So, time to put the other pie in there. I did add more pumpkin to it, more spice, more sugar. Also, I added almond extract to the first pie and vanilla extract to the second, just to see what the difference might be like. Again, the first 15 minutes on 400 so it bakes evenly, and then you switch it for the next hour to, I think these pies actually took about an hour and a half. They were a little hefty, and I was cooking on the lower oven, so it did take closer to an hour and a half. Of course, stick your toothpick in it in the center to check and see if it comes out clean, if it's done or not. And there it is. It looks lovely. This one was actually the fan favorite. 3 mothers / grandmothers, 2 of them who don't like pumpkin pie at all, said it was the best pumpkin pie they've ever had. So thank you for watching, and happy holidays.